Merry Christmas everyone, and today I am going to make mince pies. My mince pies, honestly, everybody that eats them, they say that they're amazing. Even a stranger, my family absolutely adore them. But when other people start saying that your mince pies are the best, that is when you know that you've got something really great. So I'm going to show you my secret recipe, which is really nice, and it's got such a balance of sweet and salty without having that over sugar mince pie that makes you pile on the calories. So does this one, but this one is full of butter, so you're gonna absolutely love it. One of my secrets is something that you probably don't hear about, is I combine my two flours. So I have the self raisin and I have the plain flour as well. And then the only ingredients I have for my pastry is like flour, butter, and a dash of milk, and that is my pastry that I'm going to make. So let's make my pastry. So what I do is I do 2 parts plain flour, 1 part self raisin flour. And the reason why I'm making this video is because I'm probably not going to be here much longer. I didn't mean much longer. I mean, I'm not going to be here forever, and my family absolutely love the mince pies, and if other people can get pleasure out of these mince pies, that's my job worth done. So I'm going to go with, as I said, 2 parts self raisin, 2 parts plain flour, and 1 part self raisin flour. And then I just mix it together, make sure that it's really combined. So because I'm making a very large quantity, because it's Christmas Eve, tomorrow I'm going to my parents' house after 6 years, and one thing my family adore and they really wait for is my mince pies. The mince meat was sold out this year, and I was going around all the shops trying to find it. Eventually I found some. So like I said, I'm making a large quantity, so I'm going to do the same thing again. So 2 parts plain flour and 1 part self raisin flour. I'm not really bothered about making it level or anything, to be honest. I kind of just mix my flour. And also, one note I want to add is, I know I have long nails and a lot of people think, how can you make pastry? But I make sure that I scrub them really well. You can use gloves to mix the butter into the pastry, but one thing I find is the heat in your hands is what combines it all together. And one of my secrets, the extra secret, is make it with love. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to combine my butter, unsalted butter, and I'm also using a blend of cake butter. And that is something that I can't do myself really. It has, I think it's got oils in it, and it's a combination of butter and oils. I don't like to say margarine, because margarine I never would use in this. It has to be good quality. So like I said, butter. With the cake mix fats, it's you can get it as a tub like this. This one's from Aldi, or you can get it like this as a block. And it says on there that you can use it for baking. So this is called a baking block. So this is really great, lots of it. So I do half and half butter, half of the baking block. So you have to cube everything. So I'm just doing it in the plate like this. The smaller the cubes, the better it is distributed in the flour. Don't be scared of getting your hands dirty. I feel like Nigella when she laughs for no reason. Okay, so I'm just going to put that in. And like I said, you're going to need absolutely loads. Don't be shy of the butter. Absolutely loads. So I'm just going to combine it, and then you have to really rub the butter and the flour together. Don't be shy of the butter. Keep going until you get very large breadcrumbs. Actually, better than breadcrumbs. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. This is going to take me a while, so I'll be back in about 10 minutes. So as you can see, this is like breadcrumbs, but you don't want it this kind of fine with breadcrumbs. You want it quite clumpy. So even though you think this will be enough, it's not enough. You just need to go in more with either butter or the baking block, and you just need to keep combining it like this. And as you can see, it's obviously messy, but how much of a bigger bowl can I have, to be honest? As you can see, like this, it's going really thick and clumpy. This is the consistency that you want. This is when you know it's almost ready. But there's another hack that I use to know if my pastry mix is ready for the milk. So when it's all combined together, you see it takes a while. What you do is you take a fist of the mixture, and when you can almost form a round ball, that's when you know it's ready to add milk. And you don't need a lot at all, so I'm gonna make sure that it's 100% combined together and then add my milk. Many of you don't know, but my funny husband is recording this right now for me. It's our combined project, and he keeps doing take 1, take 2. Okay, so once you've done that, just wipe it all off your hands. Get your milk, and I promise you won't need a lot of milk at all, so don't be fooled by the amount I have. So you just need a little bit, and what you need to do is you need to start going in again. It's tiring. Wish I would have made batches now. As you can see, it's all coming together really nicely. To be honest, these are quite calorific. One mince pie is about 258 calories for one. So even though it's not high in sugar, it's very high in fat. So, okay. That's nearly done. As you can see, I didn't use a lot of milk at all. To be honest, I find that if you overwork your pastry, the consistency changes of it. So I try not to overwork it, so I don't knead it as some people would knead it. So once you put the milk in, you can get balls like this. So that's one. To get ready to put in the fridge. And you may need a little bit more milk, so it depends. What I do is I just put it all together, and then it will let me know how much milk I need. So, okay. Oh, my arms are hurting. I hope my family appreciate this. You better appreciate it. Anyway, there you go. That's what, now, last one. Sometimes, right at the bottom, it can be a little bit dry. That's why if you have the milk, you just need a minute amount. So just do the Indian way. That's it. That's all you need. And combine that together. Perfecto. So out of this mixture, I should get about maybe 6 to 8 trays. So 6 to 8 dozen. It just makes my life easier doing it all together, to be honest. And then you've got the same consistency with the pastry throughout all the bakes that you have. As you see, my bowl is clean. I don't like to waste anything. And just getting this one together. That's it. We are done. So now I've washed my hands. I'm gonna put them into bags and pop them into the fridge. And what we're doing that for is just to kind of rest the pastry, so it's easier to work with when we start rolling it out. There you go, that's one. And then just keep doing that and then stick it in the fridge. So my pastry has chilled in the fridge for about 15 minutes, so not very long. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll it out. So I just want you to see the texture and the depth of each circle when I cut it out. So we're going to go in with some flour. This is plain flour, so I work with plain flour now. And I'm just going to roll it out. And you can see when you're rolling it out, it's going to be It's going to look quite broken, but not to worry because it will be absolutely fine. I mean, if you wanted to work it a little bit, you can, but once you've done the second one, it'll be more together. So now I've rolled it out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my tray ready. And with these trays, it doesn't matter how many times you buy a new one, they end up like this. So they're fine, they've got no rust on it, it's absolutely fine. So I'm going to use my tray and I'm going to start cutting out. I'm going to start cutting out the circles. And as you can see here, it's about 1/2 centimetre. The depth is about 1/2 centimetre. Just place it in there. You don't need to add any extra flour or anything. You just need to keep cutting and placing. If they are a bit thick, like this one is a little bit thick, if you want to roll it and then just cut it again, it will give you your perfect shape there. So I use 2 cutter sizes. I use 1 large one and 1 small one. And if you see the tray, one should fit the outer and then you have the small one which will fit the inner. If you want to do 2 of the large ones, I just find that the shape of them aren't the same sizes, they're just too big if you use 2 of the large ones. Cutting out the tops now. Just cutting out the tops now. The pastry is so delicate that it can almost break in your hand, but don't worry because you can just kind of press it together again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 1 for good luck. So now I've cut out my pastry shapes and I've got them filled in the tray. I'm going to fill the mince meat, and you don't need a lot, and also use 2 spoons because it just makes it so much easier. I'm not really that tidy, to be honest, when I'm cooking. I kind of just wing it. But they come out good every time. So you just need kind of a teaspoon in each one, because when you put it into the oven, the suet and the fruit, they expand, so you don't need a lot. I'm not being stingy, so you just don't need a lot. So this jar should do about 2 dozen mince pies, so make sure that you divide it equally, because too much in one and less in the other. So I'm going to put the tops on now, and I've got some milk in a bowl, and I put milk to kind of bond it together so it does have no leakage. So once you've put the lids on, what you need is this special tool which is called a fork. And you're just going to make a pattern, but also you're compressing the edges together so there's no leakage of the actual minced meat. Okay, so we're just going to do a crimp on the edge like this. I'm not an artist, but just to make it look pretty. And if you can see, there's some holes that I'm making with the fork, and what that will do is allow the pressure to come out as well. They do look pretty, don't they? So they're ready for the oven, and I'm going to put the oven on 120, 130. Reason being is my oven is a new oven, so it's a lot more powerful of some. So maybe you just want to keep it maximum 150 if you have an old oven. So I put the mince pies in the oven for about 25 minutes. We'll check them in 25 minutes. So make sure that you put your timer on, because if you're a minute over and you overcook your mince pies, that is when they will taste bitter. So I'll see you in about 25 minutes, and we're going to check the mince pies. When you check them, you can almost smell that they're cooked, because if they're not cooked, you can smell raw pastry. So we're going to have a look now. They are really hot, but I have got asbestos. This is how you check if they're 100% cooked. If you turn them over, you can see that it's quite brown and there's no raw pastry. No one wants raw pastry. And I would leave them because they're very, very delicate and they can almost crumble in your hands. So leave them, let them cool for about 5 minutes if you can wait that long, and we'll put them onto the cooling rack. They will be a bit crumbly underneath and kind of looks like the world globe. So once they've completely cooled down, it takes about 20 minutes maybe, then you're ready to apply your magic dust, which is just icing. Don't worry about if you think there's going to be too much icing on there. As I mentioned before, because they're the balance of sweet minced meat and sweetened short crust pastry, the balance with the icing on top just finishes it off. So there you have it. Beautiful, crumbly, buttery mince pies. Merry Christmas everyone, and I just wanted to do it again. Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
Big one. Big one. Thank you. Action!